Liz, glad I caught you.
Jim,
Yeah, I've got a project for you, a mission, should you choose to accept it.
a project for me?
Yeah, as you know, our phased location transfer is going to be implemented in about 2 months' time.
Phased location transfer.
Yeah, office move. Bit at a time.
Bit at a time, right.
And it looks like you are going to be one of the first to relocate.
Me?
Well, not you, your office. And I was wondering if you'd be prepared to head up the relocation team.
Me?
Fine, good. Okay, give me a ring and we sort things out in the morning.
Hiccup. Well, there are two ways of spelling hiccup, aren't there? There's hiccup spelt hiccup, and there's hiccup spelt hiccough.
Why do we need to spell hiccup?
Because we've got one.
Have we tried drinking water backwards?
No, I mean we, as in the management in their infinite wisdom, etc., etc.
Management have hiccups?
No, it's more like they've given them to us. Well, one in particular. Specifically, that what was the 7th is now the 28th. Read the office move, as it were.
The 28th?
Yeah.
That's great. That's 3 extra weeks.
No. This month. 28th of. It's a whole week less, do you see?
Move by the 28th of this month. It's a joke.
No. It's a memo.
Yeah, it can't be done.
Well, let's not be defeatist about it. It's at times like these you need to, rally the troops.
Liz, we've got enough problems with the original date as it is.
Have we? No, we haven't. Have we?
Well, the IT people have. They've just told me that they probably can't manage it.
But you promised me. I gave you responsibility for the computers, didn't I?
Well, they're saying they agreed to the 7th on the condition that they had it in writing from you. Well, they're still waiting.
Well, why didn't you tell me?
I did tell you. I even put it in writing that they needed instructing in writing.
Well, it's a joke.
It's a memo.
Well, there's no reason to panic, is there? Actually, on second thoughts, let's panic.
Well, if we have to have the kit 1 week earlier, then we'll have to go outside the organisation for it. I mean, it'll cost more.
That'll take us even further over budget.
Fiona, are you telling me that the office fittings are over budget?
Yeah.
Why?
Because your original budget, well, it didn't bear any relation to reality.
Oh, and you've waited till now to tell me. Look, I figured it all out. I did all the plans. There are flow charts, there are critical path analyses. And now I'm going to look like an idiot, just because some people can't do their completely, utterly simple tasks.
You were supposed to be in charge.
Do you think you'd speak up, Keith, in a nice, clear, loud voice?
Liz, well, you know the thing about the hiccups, just when you think you've got rid of them, well, the contract fitters.
Oh, don't tell me you've got a problem.
Like you said, we've got the hiccups. They're saying the old date, next month. Well, they're calling it a best-case scenario.
Well, there's no point even trying to get the hardware in early then, unless we want to put it on our laps.
Do you know, my mother always hoped I'd marry Prince Charles instead of working. My father wanted me to be an astronaut, so if I can't stand heights.
Liz, are you okay?
Oh, shut up! Shut up! You give some people some responsibility and they just can't hack it, can they? All 3 of you have just messed up and then you've hidden it from me until it's too late to sort it out. Probably on purpose. We have got to be out of here by the 28th. And what I want to know is, where are we going to be working from while we're waiting for the new offices to be ready? What about the shed on your father's allotment, Fiona?
He's got his seedlings in there at the moment.
I had it all worked out. Computers.
Well, we only feed back what you put in.
Who said that?
Me. I.
Oh, no. I'm having a breakdown.
Or a breakthrough, perhaps.
OK, who are you?
I'm the software. Look, you give me the elements, the timescale, etc., and I compute them for you. Of course, I can't tell you how to plan the project or run it.
I didn't realise you could chat back like this.
Yeah, you hit my code by mistake.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
I'm an experimental troubleshooting program. Heuristic, parallel processing. You know, what you'd call intelligent.
Would I?
Probably. Look, we'll need to go back to the first team meeting. That was when things started to go wrong, wasn't it?
Was it? Sorry, have you been spying on me?
No, I've been here in the corner minding my own business. Well, I have noticed the number of Kit Kats you get through.
Pardon?
By the way, ever thought of entering yourself for the Guinness Book of Records?
Cheek.
Anyway, that's between us. I tell you what, why don't we revisit that all-important first meeting 4 weeks ago?
Right then, everybody. Now then, as I'm sure you're all aware, the management have given me, that's me, the job of supervising the phased location transfer, which in effect means that I'm in charge. Now, we want the new office up and operational by Monday the 7th of December.
There's an unattractive, if not ugly, rumour doing the rounds that our new space is 10% smaller than our existing one.
Try not to be too pessimistic, Keith. I think you'll find the figure is between 9 and 11%, actually.
10, then.
How are we going to manage with 10% less space?
Well, we're going to try not to be too negative before the kick-off, Sam. I think we could all bunch up a little bit, couldn't we? I mean, we are good friends, after all.
What are we now? Spread out?
Aren't we going to have to do a bit of a rethink? You know, redesign what we do and how we do it?
You see, the thing is, Sam, it's a new office, not a spaceship. So we're going to get some new computers on some new desks in a new building in 7 weeks' time. How hard can that be?
Well, it might not be that simple.
Yes, well, I'm in charge, and I insist that it is simple. Do you understand? Now then, Sam, I'm a great one for delegation, so I want you to look after all the computery side of things. You love all that mumbo-jumbo, don't you? And Fiona, you're a dab hand with filing and paper bump, so I'll leave that in your capable hands. And Keith. Pictures and fittings for you, Keith.
Oh, yes. Maybe I could go down to the Doll's House Emporium, see if I can get something to fit into our new space.
You are so funny, aren't you, Keith, despite what other people say. Now then, you've all got your very own budgets and everything, so while you're beavering away, spending the company's hard-earned profits, I'll be in the grandstand, where I shall have a magnificent overview. Well, I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but was I marvellous or merely Louis Armstrong?
So why's everything gone wrong?
Well, did you cast your eyes over my so-called team? I mean, if they had half a brain between them, they'd be dangerous.
No faults at all on your part?
Well, tragically, yes. My generosity of spirit and general good humour, letting them get involved. Should have done it all myself.
I couldn't help noticing that you didn't define the project properly before you started.
Sorry, have you got cotton wool stuffed in your terminals or something? What do you think I was doing? They all had their own tasks, their own budgets.
Would you like to see a simulation of how you should have defined the project?
Do you know, I'm finding you rather smug.
Press any key to continue.
Right.
Stage 1, define.
So, that's the space problem. Any ideas?
Well, there could be a solution if we have the budget for a computer upgrade.
Yes, we do. Go on, Sam.
Why don't we take the opportunity to set up a shared data system? Link all our office machines, and we could all read orders and memos off each of the screens.
And everyone could see a complete contact history.
On screen, absolutely. Less paper, less filing, and all our transactions and archives would simply live on the server. We'd only have to print them out when we needed them.
So we'd only need, what, half the filing cabinets?
Probably just a couple of drawers under each desk.
10% of our space right there, at least.
And if we got rid of most of our private filing cabinets, we could have a shared filing system, one for each customer account, instead of digging into each other's files all the time like we do here.
Well, I don't mind telling you just how amazingly skilled I think you all are. But first, let's work out how much we're spending on this.
remembering that long-term, the savings will be immense. I mean, time, space, stationery, everything.
Well, if you can try and estimate that, I'll see how much I can get for an IT budget.
Shall I get our IT people onto it straight away?
Absolutely, yes, and get them on the team. Oh, and we'll need someone from accounts, preferably alive. We'll ask them to give us a budget and sign off on it.
And I'll work out exactly what kind of filing system we need.
Good. Keith, now we'll need a plan of the new office, furniture and fittings that suit the new system. How about 3D software, Keith?
Oh, I'd like that.
Thought you might. Right, well, we'll all do our plans for the new setup. I'll put together the overall budget and timescale and present it to the management. Oh, goodness me, we really are efficient, aren't we?
Stage 1, define. Define the project. That means define it together.
So, that's the space problem. Any ideas?
Check you have the skills you need.
Shall I get our IT people onto it straight away?
Put it on paper.
Right, well, we'll all do our plans for the new setup. I'll put together the overall budget and timescale and present it to the management.
That's better. Now you've defined the project.
Thank you.
So tell me, how did you plan this one?
Rather well, actually.
Oh, hang on, I'll dig it out.
Now then, Sam, I'm a great one for delegation, so I want you to look after all the computery side of things. You love all that mumbo-jumbo, don't you? And Fiona, you're a dab hand with filing and paper bump, so I'll leave that in your capable hands. And Keith, pictures and fittings for you, Keith.
Sorry, we already saw that bit. What was I looking for? The planning, wasn't it?
Oh, you had it there. Stop, right there. There.
That was the planning.
Yes, that was the planning, thank you. I told them what to do, told them to get on with it. What more do you want?
I want some proper planning.
Eh?
Have a look at this.
Here's the new shared filing system, where the main filing cabinet was. And what we have left behind the desks is a lot of space, so I thought we could have a huge project board, a sort of visual diary for everyone. That way, we always know where everyone's going to be and who's working on what.
That's great, Fiona. Now, Helen, on the account side, that's going to need some extra initial outlay.
But as I say, if you can factor in your savings from next April's budget, then you're back on target.
Right, good. Raj, how about the IT side?
No problem.
Well, as long as that works for you, Helen, it definitely will be you signing off the budget next year.
No problem, all arranged.
Right, good. The other big issue with the shared data system is, of course, time. Sam's 5-week estimate?
That's probably correct, seeing as how we can get the basic software off the peg. Though we should add a week's contingency and 10% to the budget just in case.
Well, if it's late, we lose more. So 10% contingency does seem to make sense. Can we sign off on that, then? New system up and running in 6 weeks' time?
With the overtime budget, if we need it, that'll be fine.
Right, well, so far, so good. Let's have these meetings weekly from now on and set milestones, you know, targets to achieve. I mean, Keith, if you could get the fitters sorted out in the next week, we'll be well on target. And Sam, if you and Raj can agree the software design, well, we'll be cooking with gas, as my mother always used to say. God, I was great there! That milestone thing was positively Shakespearean. Yes, I must remember that.
Stage 2, plan. Plan the project. Allocate your resources.
Well, if it's late, we lose more. So 10% contingency does seem to make sense.
Agree roles and responsibilities.
Well, as long as that works for you, Helen, it definitely will be you signing off the budget next year.
No problem, all arranged.
Set milestones.
I mean, Keith, if you could get the fitters sorted out in the next week, we'll be well on target. That's it. Check up on them all the time. Stop things sliding. If I'd done that all the way through, we'd still be on schedule.
It's not you checking up on them. It's everyone working to the same targets.
Well, right, same difference. But we had problems meeting the original date, and now we have 1 week less.
No problem. I've got all the latest reality software. Time doubler, sleep compression. We can do it.
You're mad.
And you're desperate. So, shall we crack on?
Time doubler? Sleep compression?
Well, now I've done the simulations, I can just overwrite all that if you like.
What? You mean start from that last bit, where I produced that brilliant milestone thing?
Wherever you like.
And it'll happen for real?
Press any key to continue.
But, surely that's playing God, isn't it? I can't just rewrite my team's lives.
Well, how will they ever know? Besides, if they did, they'd probably do the same to you.
Well, okay. How much did you cost again? Oh, right, Friday meeting. Progress reports first. Sam?
All the IT's on schedule. Probably a few late nights next week testing the database. We'll use some of that contingency, but not all of it.
Oh, good. Well, I vote we spend some of that on pizzas. Fiona?
Yeah, we're on budget for the files and fittings. Oh, and here is the new layout, by the way.
Oh.
Hang on. You can't do that.
Do what?
Extend your filing system over there. That's storage space.
No, it isn't. Look.
It is now. They couldn't do 50 inches, only 40 or 60, and 40's not enough.
Well, why couldn't they do 50 inches?
Because we'd have had to have had it customised, which would have doubled the cost.
Oh, right. Well, one of you is going to have to give way. What gets installed first?
Filing.
Storage.
Filing.
Oh, dear.
Well, it'll probably be filing now. Looks like the fitters are going to be late.
What? Oh, and now you tell us.
Well, I've been working on it, but they might not be able to guarantee anything. Problem is, they can't get the carpet in time, and nothing else can go in until that's down.
So let me just get this straight. Fiona's units will be waiting, and your storage system won't even fit.
Well, like I said, I've been working on it.
Keith, you have been determined that everything will go wrong ever since I was put in charge of this office move, and not you.
What? If the desks are not going to be in time, why am I working around the clock to get the computers ready?
Honestly, you give some people responsibility and they just can't hack it. All three of you have messed up and hidden it from me until it's too late for me to sort it out, haven't you? Haven't you? Where are you? I need you, I need you. Come on. So much for your simulations. We're in the same mess as we were before.
That's because there's more to running a project than just defining it and planning it. It has to be properly implemented.
Implemented? Well, it was. Milestones, clear responsibilities, regular meetings, remember?
Okay, naturally you need all those. But you also need to understand how to work as a team.
No. They need to understand that I'm the captain and I've got a badge to prove it and they should do what I tell them to, and that's true.
All this could have been picked up at last week's meeting.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. I'm not a clairvoyant.
Shall I run another simulation? Show you how last week's meeting could have gone?
Well, if you're such a clever little software, why don't you just wave your wand and get the new office up and running by magic?
Because you wouldn't learn anything.
Oh, you...
Here we go.
OK, Friday meeting. Let's start with progress reports. Me first. Now, the management understand that we cannot change the date, so we're still on course for the 7th. Sam?
All the IT's on schedule. Probably just a few late nights and a couple of weeks testing the database.
Fine. Fiona?
Yeah, we're on budget for the files and fittings, but I'd like to change the layout of the new filing system slightly. I think it'd be better to keep the floor space and have a hanging system.
Right. Is that a problem for anybody else?
Might be for me. I'll have to have a look at the size of that storage system, see if it still fits.
Can I leave that with you two, then? Can you get together after this meeting and let me know what you've decided?
Yeah, fine.
Any other problems or anything on the horizon that looks even vaguely like a dark cloud?
The fitters again.
Could have guessed.
They won't give me a guarantee on our deadline.
Why?
The carpets, basically, they have to outsource it and their suppliers are being a bit vague. And, of course, none of the rest of the fittings can go in until the carpet's in.
Well, can't you go to another fitter for the carpet?
We could, but Lazar's were the best quote.
Well, why don't you dig out the next best quote, Keith? Because at this stage, I think time is much more important than money, within reason, obviously.
I'll have a ring round.
OK. By next Friday, we need a signed, sealed delivery date, so go with whoever can give us that.
Fine.
Now, if anyone's got any other problems, please don't wait for these weekly meetings. Anyone can call a meeting any time if they've got a problem that might affect the rest of us, OK?
Stage 3, implement. The key lesson of implementing a project is to make sure that you're all working effectively as a team. Keep each other informed.
We're on budget for the files and fittings, but I'd like to change the layout of the new filing system slightly.
Don't hide problems. Flag them as soon as they appear.
Anyone can call a meeting any time if they've got a problem that might affect the rest of us, OK?
Don't blame people when things go wrong. Get together and work out how to correct them.
Well, can't we go to another fitter for the carpet?
We could, but Lazar's with the best quote.
Well, why don't you dig out the next best quote, Keith? Because at this stage, I think time is much more important than money, within reason, obviously. So, can we, write in that new version instead?
As long as you don't mind deleting the old one.
No, I don't. Go ahead.
Are you sure? You seem to think you had it right before.
Yes, OK. You've won, smarty pants.
And you'll put all those new lessons into practice? Otherwise, it'll all go wrong again.
Yes, OK. It's about teamwork and sharing problems and not blaming people and not bossing them about. I suppose if it works. It does seem a pity, though, because I quite like bossing people about. Are you there? Hi! I'm so happy!
Hey, fantastic.
Oh, well, I've never had any complaints.
No, the office. It
Oh.
looks great.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do now, then?
Well, I was going to go and have a drink. I don't suppose you're allowed out, are you?
No, but the rest of your team are. Mark the end of a project with a little celebration.
Well, have no fear on that score. We pulled victory from the jaws of defeat.
Yes, but there is one more thing you need to do.
Ah, is there?
Make sure you get the maximum benefit out of all the work you've done.
Oh, I see. You mean have lots of drinks?
No, evaluate the project.
Evaluate the project. What do you mean exactly?
First, evaluate the process. Go through what you've done with the team, what you've learnt, what you'd change, what you'd do again, what other people might benefit from.
OK. Great job, everybody. What a team, really. I mean, and the way we did it is really worth remembering and passing on. So I've done a bit of work on the process that we went through, and these are the key lessons, in my opinion. I've done a simple presentation. I'll run it over the intranet. Stage 1. Define the project. Define it as a team. Check you've got the skills you need. Put it on paper. Stage 2. Plan the project. Allocate resources. Agree roles and responsibilities. Set milestones. Stage 3. Implement the project. Keep each other informed. Don't hide problems. Don't blame, correct. Stage 4. Evaluate the project. Evaluate the process.
Evaluate the benefits. Make sure that your management or sponsors understand what you've done, what benefits it's had, and how it could be applied more broadly across the organisation.
Goodness me, my voice sounds strange there, doesn't it? Must have recorded that at a slower speed or something.
Liz.
Jim, hi.
Hi. Hello, everyone. I just thought I'd pop in and tell you how pleased the board were with the move and your presentation. And they really fell for the knowledge management system. Well done. Brilliant. I think it's going to work as a prototype for everyone, so well done.
Thank you.
I'd like to have a quick word with you, Liz. Thanks. Actually, Liz, the real reason I popped in is to share a confidence with you. As you know, the board were very impressed, and they'd like you to handle the next move.
The next move?
Yeah.
Where? When? Why?
Global strategic alignment. Whole company's moving to Cambridge. It's thrilling, isn't it? Yeah. And I'd like you to go and recce the business park as soon as possible.
Cambridge?
Yeah.
That's where my Auntie Jean lives.
Really?
I'm going there this weekend.
This weekend?
Yeah.
Cambridge, Massachusetts.